Welcome back, AppSheet Angels, to episode 5. So I just want to start off by prettying up this AppSheet screen, basically. So what I'm planning to do this episode is just make these title cards look a little more pretty and add some images, shuffle around like the headings, and I'm going to do some color theming as well. And then we'll see if we add any more features or if we'll just stop at theming it. But you'll learn a few things along the way as well that we'll use in future lessons. So let's just jump straight in. I want to start by making this look better. So why don't we go over to views and then readings. Okay, so here we can see we're using the card view type. Just as an example, we could change it to deck, table, gallery, and so forth. But I actually want to just leave it as card. I think it looks good like that. But we'll come down here and you can see that it could look a lot different if we added an image. There's also different types of cards, so we can flick through them like this. But it doesn't really make sense without the image. So I have a plan for that. What we're going to do is just add whatever the first card is pulled over here will be the main image for this reading. So there is an easy way to do that, but basically we're going to add a virtual column. So you click plus here to add a virtual column, and it is what it says. So it just adds, I'm trying to exit out of it. I think I have to write something first. Let's just say image. All right, and then the formula is going to be, we're going to pull it from the list of cards. So we'll just say cards to start with. We'll say index. We're going to use the index function from the last one. What am I doing? Index. Anyway, I think we just need to put brackets around it. Yeah. So index cards, and we just need to say, yeah, so here it's explaining we're going to index the list of cards, and then which one, it's saying which number down the list. We just want whatever the first thing is, so we're just going to say 1. So that's just going to look at that list and pick the first thing. If we changed it to 2, it would pull the second thing from that list. So let's say that. So you can see now it's correctly picked it up as a reference to the deck table. So we're just going to hit save. It's not exactly what we want yet, but let's just see if this changed anything. So you can see down here it's correctly picked Knight of Cups. Let's just, for the sake of showing you, change this to 2. And it should update there, you can see, to 2 of Cups, the second thing in the list. Okay, so we don't really want to just repeat what it says though, we want to pull the image. So what we're going to do is say index this and find like the first thing in the list, and then we're going to use the image from that reference. So just trying to think if we need a second virtual column or if we can pull it all off in one go. I think what we'll do, just to show you, is we'll do a second virtual column. So actually let's just rename this to FirstCard. Oh, that's handy. This feature didn't exist before. Update all the places where this column is used. I don't think there's anywhere else it's used, but oh god, I hope I didn't wreck something there. Anyway, let's just say first card, and then we're going to add another one for image. So we'll just say, let's just call it image again. And then we're going to go to the column. So here we've got first card, so we're going to insert that. Now you can just go dot and then go image. And that will go, whatever the first card reference is, the image from that reference. So theoretically it said image, and it should just be we hit save. I think it needs to sync for that to take effect. And then it should load the Knight of Cups image here. Perfect. So now that we've got it here, it should show up as the main image on here once we edit the view. So if we just come to here and actually let's just turn that off. We'll go back over this way. Views, readings. Now if we come down here and click image, click here and go column to show and then change that to image. We can see it shows up like that now. So you can change the fit, contain, yep, or fill. I'll leave you to decide what looks best, but I think we'll do contain. And then you can see it's done that for all of the rest of the other readings we did in the last lesson. So that's just a quick way to show you like how you can link things together. I want to finish making this pretty basically. So let's say, yeah, well, let's edit this, right? So this could be the image up there, you know, as well. Or we might change it to like the second image or something like that later on. I'm just going to leave it blank for now. But anyway, so we want the header should be the title, but the title we've just written test. So if we want, we could just call it FirstCard. Might get confusing later on, but for example, let's just do that. Subheader, title, text is just the cards column or the ones we've pulled. So let's leave it as that. And then it just automatically picks the first two actions associated with that. So this would be edit. Yeah, we'll just leave that for now. I might just leave that to be honest, except maybe turn this off. Let's get rid of that. All right, now we'll just come over to theming. So I think that's in settings. Now, is my head covering that? Not really, I'll just leave my head there. Theme and brand. So you can even go dark mode if you like. I personally prefer dark mode, so I might leave it like that. And I'm just feeling purple. Anything magic related, I just feel like is purple. You can change the logo here. Let's just make it the scales for now, but you can add a custom image. You can also have a background image, but I'm going to leave that blank. Show the view name in the header, so you can turn that off and on. Show the logo in the header. You can hide the menu button and the search button, leave it on. You can also change the type of the theme, so you could have it filled in or like that. I kind of like it like that, maybe. How does it look on this scene? I might keep it. I'll turn the logo off for now until I have a better logo. But you can already see like it's really easy to just quickly change how it looks. It's amazing what a fresh coat of paint will do. The other thing is like the logo, the images down here make a big difference. So let's go back to views and you can see we can change it here. So also I remembered how to reorder these. You just change it here under position. So readings, like say we want that to be in the middle and it goes on that side now. I think we'll just leave it how it is. But let's change the icon. So if you come down to display, here you can literally just change the icon. You can also change what it says in the display name. The show if, we'll get into that in another lesson, but that lets you display the name based on a formula, which probably you need an example for that to see why it's useful, but you can do it. Now, I usually just try searching something. So let's say, this is for readings. So let's say card or like crystal. No, or like ball, like a crystal ball. I think that's a paddle ball, a golf ball. Or like a magic 8 ball, you know, something like that would be funny. We've got a broom for like Quidditch or something. Oh, it literally is Quidditch. Okay, let's say card. We've got like a spade, like that. Anyway, let's just pick something. So maybe we'll just say book. And we'll do a love heart. That's cute. So we can make that the reading, or you can like have it inverted. You can have it filled in. For deck, let's change that to like a deck of cards. So hopefully, say cards. Oh yeah, could be like a diamond. But let's make it like club, because I feel like that. Yep. Or spade. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe we'll leave it filled in as well. Okay, so you can see like how quickly it comes together when you just change a few icons. What else should we do? I think I'm just going to leave it there for a moment. We're going to add one more thing here in the Tarot app, in the Google Sheet. I want to add a timestamp column for the readings so we know like the date and time we did the reading. So literally I'm just going to put it next to ID. I always sort of put it as the second column. And we're just going to call it timestamp. Now, oh wait, that was the wrong one, sorry. We should be doing this in the readings tab. Yeah, that's better. So we'll go timestamp. And you can see over here, the virtual columns don't get added to the Google Sheet. They only exist inside the app, and they're calculated when the app is loaded. So virtual columns, the data in them doesn't get written back into the spreadsheet. It just exists when you're viewing it. And it's calculated sort of when you look at it. So that's why you wouldn't necessarily make everything a virtual column. Some things you want to keep them on the spreadsheet so you can record all the data that comes out of it. Now there are other ways to like generate a report and export the data like from a virtual column, which I've used before as well. We can look at that in a future lesson. But that's just a general idea for you to think about, like when you might use a virtual column and when you might not. Jumping back over to AppSheet, we're just going to regenerate the schema. So come over to data, readings, and hit regenerate schema here. Yep, it's going to reload it for us, and it should add the timestamp column, and it's correctly noted it as date time. We want the initial value to be now, which it's automatically put in, which is perfect. The now function, if you come over to time here and scroll down to now, it literally just inputs whatever time and date it is right now. So let's do a test. If we hit new, add, see how it's pre-filled the timestamp with the exact time. Yeah. So if we click on here, we can still pull more cards. Let's just do a new one. Hit save. And you know what? Why don't we change the view here as well to be reverse ordered? So you can change sort by the columns, which we want to do in readings actually. So sort by timestamp, and then we can say descending. So it'll put the newest one at the top, and if we hit pull card, it should pull our first card for us. And then we might have to hit save. I probably should have hit save before I did all that. But it should reload with the image. I wonder why it hasn't done that. Maybe if I sync. It should have. If we come back to readings. Yeah, because see, it should know what the image is. Interesting. I'm going to click edit and save. Maybe there's a better way to work that out. That's odd. It's being a little buggy. I wonder why that's not happening. Anywhoomst, that was a good way to end the lesson on it failing on something. I'm going to do a little digging so we don't end the lesson like that and work out why it's not saving properly. Okay, I got to the bottom of it, and it's an issue with the button I made in the last lesson. So I'll just show you how I worked it out. If we look on the Google Sheet and see here under the latest reading that we did, so you can see here it's got the comma and then the space in front of the first entry, and the app's having trouble reading that because it looks like there's something blank in front of the first item in the list. So that virtual column is trying to read a blank, basically. So we can manually edit it here and delete it. And then if we flick back over to AppSheet and hit the synchronize button, it should theoretically fix it. Yeah, see? Now it's working properly. It's got the Nine of Pentacles, the image. And also you'll notice you can click on this and it takes you to the actual card in the deck. And even now here it shows you related readings. So readings where this card has been pulled. So that's another handy thing that it does. It links everything back and forth. But the issue is that when we press this pull cards button on a blank reading, it kind of screws up. I think it's kind of screwing up this way as well. Oh no, it isn't. That's fine. So basically, I think we're going to have to change the button formula to check if the cell is blank or not before it does the action. And we might have to have a separate choice. So if it's blank, then don't put the comma. If it isn't blank, put a comma first. So I can show you how to do that. I might do that in the next lesson though, because I don't want to make these too long. So I'll save that for lesson 6.